All right, so today I'll be discussing Chandelle's as a commercial maneuver. The objective of this max performance climb is to gain the most altitude given a certain bank angle and power setting. So throughout the maneuver, you want to make sure that you are being smooth on the controls. That's always important, especially in commercial. You want to demonstrate that you are being smooth and proficient throughout the whole maneuver. You want to make sure that you stay coordinated. That's always important. And you want to make sure that your division of attention from inside to outside, and you're watching your bank angle, your pitch, and your speed, making sure that your attention is looking at all of those things and making sure everything is coordinated. And then, so when you're starting out the maneuver, you want to make sure that you choose an altitude. First off, you want to make sure that you're at a safe altitude, so above 1500 AGL. So here in Eastman, elevation here is 300 feet approximately. So I usually just choose 3000 MSL, so that gives me 2700 feet above the ground. It's plenty of space. It's just a nice even number. So you want to make sure entry altitude is at least above that 1500, or that's intermediate bus. So you'll be in like cruise straight and level flight. So 21 inches of manifold and 2400 RPM. And I'll be doing this, teaching this in the Aero. So it's complex. It has a constant speed prop. So 21 inches, 2400 RPM. Altitude, like I said, 1500 feet above the ground at least. You want to make sure that you're at that. You don't want to go below that. And then you want to select a reference point, 90 degrees from the direction of flight. So going down 360 degrees north, it's going to choose 270 degrees west. That'll give you a perfect 90 degrees. You want to, if you can, try to do it with a left crosswind. That'll help when you're turning that 90 degrees, that you'll be facing into the wind, which will help with the airflow over the wings and help generate more lift, contributing to that maximum or that max altitude increase. So left crosswind if possible, and choose that 90 degrees off. All right, and then to supplement your ground point outside of the airplane, you can also bug the heading. So what I like to do for the glass cockpit and the Aero that we have, I like to change the course to the head of the course needle will be at, let's say, let's do 360, so that the course will be 360, and that means the tail will be 180 degrees off of that, so I'll be able to see that as well. And then the heading bug will be at that 90 degrees, so that gives me all 3 points that I need to see on that heading indicator. So that's really helpful to supplement that. And then you want to do your pre-maneuver checklist. For every maneuver, you want to make sure that you're doing your clearing turn. Go to left first, obviously, you know that, remember that from private. Always go to the left. Make sure you're looking out for terrain, traffic, and any other obstacles, towers, and stuff like that. And then the rest of the checklist, fuel pump on during the maneuver. And you also want to have your lane light on, and which some of our arrows, that'll also be the recog, you want to make sure that is on as well. And for this maneuver, we are clean configuration, so we're not having any flaps and we're not having our gear down, right? And then so once you're all set up, you're at your cruise altitude, straight and level flight. When you enter, starting the maneuver, I'm gonna go ahead and do prop forward. Prop full forward, throttle full, go ahead and bank to 30 degrees immediately. Just nice and smooth. You don't want to abruptly do it, but 30 degrees, and then pitch will be increasing. So the first 90 degrees of this 180 degree turn, you're going to be have a constant bank of 30 degrees, and you're changing pitch. So you're constantly pulling back on the yoke and changing that pitch. And quick note, if you're doing a left turn, you might need to add some right rudder for the turning tendency for the torque and the drag. But if you're doing it to the right, the torque and the drag tend to cancel each other out. But you just want to monitor that coordination the entire duration of the maneuver. All right, so you're going on your 360 heading and you're turning, let's just say to the left. So you're watching for that coordination. Make sure you add right rudder if you need any. And you are constant bank 30 degrees, changing pitch. So once you get to your 90-degree point, and that will be shown by your heading bug inside the aircraft and your point outside of the aircraft. So you want to keep making sure you're looking outside, looking inside, and at that 90-degree point, that's when you want your max pitch up. So that is when you'll have the most pitch that you'll have throughout the maneuver, and you want to hold that. Once you pass that point, that's when you start decreasing the bank, so you can level out, wings level at 180 degrees. And you're going to have a constant pitch throughout this. You're maintaining a nose up attitude through the second half, and you want to adjust to roll wings level at 180 degrees from the entry heading. So if you're choosing 360 north, then it'll be 180 degrees on the south heading when you're completing it. So once you're coming around here, you are rolling out slowly, smooth on the controls, and you're having a constant pitch. And you want to maintain that pitch throughout the whole second half of the turn. When you get to that 180 degree point, that is when you will start decreasing your pitch. And it is important to note right here that you do not lose any altitude. So the point of the maneuver is to gain the most altitude given a certain bank angle and power setting. So you don't want to lose any altitude that you just gained. So you're staying right above that stall throughout this second half, you're staying above the stall the entire maneuver, but at the very end, you're making sure you're just above that stall to give you the max amount of climb that you can get. So you are bringing the nose down while there's more lift coming over the wings, and you're gaining airspeed. So your power is still full. Your bank at this point is 0 degrees during the recovery because you're already at that 180 degree point. Your pitch is decreasing without losing altitude, and you want to resume cruise flight once you are steady. Once you are coming straight and level, and you get that airflow over the wings, and you're gaining airspeed, that's when you can start resuming cruise flights. So you want to do 21-24 on the power setting, 21 inches manifold pressure, and 2400 RPM on the prop. So the standards for this maneuver, you want to complete the rollout at your 180 degree point, plus or minus 10 degrees. So I did a basic point at 180 degrees south, so you'll have 190 degrees or 170 within that range. Just want to make sure you stay as close to that 180 as possible, and then you want to stay just above the stall speed while maintaining airspeed momentarily, avoiding a stall, and then resuming straight and level flight with minimum loss of altitude. So if you can, just do not lose any altitude at all. And then some common errors with this maneuver. So the first thing, improper pitch, bank, and power coordination during entry or completion. So you want to make sure when you're starting off that you are banking to 30 degrees, you're increasing pitch, and you are full power, so prop full forward and manifold pressure full. So you want to make sure that in the aero, that's what that you do, and it's going to maintain that full power that entire time. And at the completion, you want to make sure that you're rolling out to that 180 degree point, plus or minus 10. You want to make sure you're keeping full power throughout until you have gained your airspeed back from just above a stall, and you are recovering from that. You want to make sure that you don't pull back on the power for whatever reason, or that during this half that you're lowering your pitch and proper pitch. You want to make sure it's a max pitch for the whole maneuver. And then the second common error is uncoordinated use of flight controls. So you want to make sure you're coordinated with your flight controls the entire time. So you want to make sure that you're following the constant bank and changing pitch for the first 90, and changing bank constant pitch for the second 90. And also maintaining coordinated flight with your rudders as well, with that, like going back to that left turning tendency during the left turn. You want to add that right rudder, and then for the right turn, it tends to cancel each other out. And then next point, improper timing of pitch and bank attitude changes. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right pitch and bank setting at the right times. So when you're doing your first 90, you want to automatically rip the yoke back while still increasing bank. That would be incorrect, and that would not be a proper demonstration of the maneuver. I want to make sure first 90 constant bank 30 degrees automatically and changing pitch, and then that max pitch up, and then second 90 decreasing that bank to level out 180 degrees and constant pitch, so you get that constant pitch back. So the improper timing, it's common that you will have like you might reverse it somehow, or any other combination. You might have constant bank, constant pitch, so anything like that is common error. And factors related to failure in achieving maximum performance. So this will be like if you started decreasing power for whatever reason, that would result in not achieving maximum performance. Sorry. And also, if you were nosing down too early or recovering too early, losing that altitude, that would also happen, or cause to not achieve max performance. And then stall during the maneuver. That's a common error. You don't want to stall, obviously, but you want to make sure that you're just above a stall, and that if you're getting that indication of a stall through the stall horn and nosing forward. So just to review real quick, so setting up, you are cruise flight, and you're doing pre-maneuver checklist, getting out your points and all that. Your entry, you're going full power, banking to 30, increasing pitch all the way to that 90 degree max pitch up, and you're at 30 degrees of bank. And once you hit that point, that 90 degrees, then you'll start decreasing that bank and leveling out at your 180 degree point with your max pitch and not losing any altitude. And while you're starting to decrease that nose, getting the airflow over the wings, and then leveling out straight and level, cruise flight, 21 inches of manifold and 2400 RPM. And so that is a Chandelle max performance climb for the commercial checkride. And that is a demonstration of the maximum altitude gained with a given bank angle and power setting. Thank you.